Have you ever met someone who never seems to break? Someone who walks through fire and comes out the other side like nothing happened. While everyone else is drowning in stress, they're breathing normally. While panic spreads like wildfire, they stand unmoved. You might think they're just naturally calm, that they were born with some gift you weren't given. But the truth is far more complex and far more earned. What you're about to discover will change how you see these people forever, because their calmness, it's not a blessing. It's a survival mechanism built through pain, observation, and years of internal work. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how they do it, and maybe you'll realize you're one of them too. People who stay calm in chaos experience the world very differently. While everyone around them loses control, panics or reacts emotionally, they remain steady, not because they don't feel anything, but because their mind processes everything differently. They don't panic when the world does, not frozen. Still, there's a difference. And if you've ever wondered what makes someone unshakable, you're about to find out. Calm people aren't born that way. They're built that way. Most people think calmness is a personality trait, something you either have or you don't, but that's not true. Calm is a skill. It's a response system trained over years of internal work that most people never do. And the psychology behind it? It's darker and deeper than you think. I grew up in a house where emotions exploded without warning. Doors slammed, voices raised, tension you could feel in your chest. And somewhere in that chaos, I learned something. Reacting never helped, so I stopped. I didn't shut down. I just learned to watch the storm without becoming it. That's when I realized calm people aren't emotionless. They just know something others don't. They've already lived through the worst-case scenario in their mind. This is the secret most people miss. Calm individuals have an unusual relationship with fear. They don't avoid it. They've already sat with it. They've already imagined failure, loss, humiliation, disaster, and instead of running from those thoughts, they've processed them fully. So when something bad actually happens, their nervous system doesn't spike. It recognizes the situation. It's been here before, even if only mentally. That's not numbness, that's preparation. Think about it. When most people face a crisis, their body floods with adrenaline, their heart races, their thoughts scatter. But calm people, their body stays regulated because their mind already rehearsed this moment 1,000 times, not in fear, but in acceptance. They've mentally walked through the fire so many times that when it actually comes, they already know how to breathe through the smoke. People who stay calm in crisis often grew up in unpredictable environments, homes where they couldn't control what happened around them, so they learnt to control what happened inside them. Unlike people who grew up stable and react dramatically to minor disruptions, calm people were forged in instability. They learnt early that your external world can collapse, but your internal world doesn't have to. My friend once told me something I'll never forget. I don't get stressed about things I can't control because I spent my childhood trying to control things I couldn't. It never worked, so now I just focus on my response. And that's it. That's the entire psychology right there. Calm people have accepted the limits of their power, and that acceptance is what makes them powerful. This isn't resignation, it's wisdom. They've learned to distinguish between what's theirs to carry and what isn't, and that clarity alone eliminates most of the anxiety that drowns other people. They've made peace with uncertainty. Most people are terrified of not knowing what's next. They need predictability. They need guarantees. Calm people don't. They've already internalized the truth that life is unpredictable, that plans fall apart, that people leave, that circumstances change, and instead of resisting that reality, they've surrendered to it. Not in defeat, in clarity. This is where their strength comes from. Psychologically, calm people operate from a different part of the brain, while anxious people are stuck in their amygdala, scanning for threats. Calm people have trained their prefrontal cortex to override the panic response. They pause before they react. They observe before they engage. They breathe before they speak. It sounds simple, but most people never learn it. They've rewired their nervous system through repetition. Every time they chose pause over panic, they strengthened that neural pathway. Every time they chose observation over reaction, they built that muscle. And now, it's automatic. Not because they're special, but because they practiced. There's a loneliness to it too. Calm people are often misunderstood. They're called cold, detached, unfeeling. People think they don't care because they don't react the way others do. But the truth is, they care deeply. They just don't perform their emotions for an audience. They process internally. They feel everything, but they don't broadcast it. And that makes people uncomfortable, because most people equate intensity with authenticity. If you're not freaking out, you must not care. If you're not crying, you must not be hurt. If you're not angry, you must not be invested. But calm people know that emotions are real, whether you display them or not. They've learnt that silence can hold more weight than a scream, that stillness can be stronger than chaos. And here's the thing, they've learnt this because they had to. Because expressing emotions in their past was either unsafe, dismissed, or weaponized against them, so they developed an internal world so rich, so deep, that they don't need external validation to know what they're feeling is real. They don't need validation for their feelings. This is a massive psychological difference. Calm people don't look outward for confirmation that what they're experiencing is valid. They trust their own inner compass. They don't need someone else to say, you have every right to be upset. They already know what they feel, and they've already decided how to handle it. That creates an inner authority that's rare. People raised in environments where emotions were used as weapons learned to weaponize calm instead. They realized that staying grounded gave them power that reacting never could. They saw how chaos spreads, how panic is contagious, how one person's emotional explosion can derail an entire room. So they became the stabilizer, the anchor, the one who doesn't add fuel to the fire. And let's be clear, this isn't about being a pushover. Calm people can be incredibly assertive. They just don't need to raise their voice to be heard. They don't need to slam doors to make a point. Their boundaries are clear, their standards are high, and their presence alone communicates strength. But here's what most people don't see. Being calm all the time takes energy. It's not effortless. It's a choice made over and over again. When something triggers you and you pause instead of react, that's work. When someone attacks you and you respond with composure instead of defense, that's discipline. When life falls apart and you stay steady, that's not indifference, that's survival. Calm people aren't unemotional. They're emotionally efficient. They've learnt which battles matter and which ones don't. They've learnt that not every provocation deserves a response. They've learnt that silence is sometimes the most powerful answer, and they've learnt that their peace is more valuable than proving a point. This doesn't mean they never break. Calm people do break, but they break in private. They break quietly. They break in ways that don't require an audience or intervention. They process their pain alone because they've learnt that's the safest way, not because they don't trust people, but because they've learned to trust themselves first. And here's something else most people don't realize. Calm people carry scars you can't see. Every moment of composure is built on a history of chaos they survived. Every steady breath is a reminder of times when breathing felt impossible. Every calm response is a victory over a nervous system that once lived in survival mode. They don't talk about this because they don't need sympathy. They've already done the work. They've already healed themselves in the quiet. While others were seeking validation, they were building inner peace. While others were posting their breakdowns, they were having theirs in silence. While others needed the world to stop for their pain, they learned to move through it alone. That's not cold. That's not heartless. That's someone who learned early that no one was coming to save them, so they became their own cirque rescuer, their own stability, their own safe place. And now, when the world falls apart, they don't fall with it, because they've already been to the bottom and climbed back up. They've already faced their demons and made peace with them. They've already lost everything and realized they could survive it. So when crisis comes, it doesn't surprise them. They've been preparing for it their whole lives. The psychology of calm people isn't about being unfeeling. It's about being so deeply feeling that you've learned to contain it. It's about having survived so much that nothing can shake you the way it once did. It's about choosing peace over chaos, even when chaos feels easier. So if you're someone who stays calm while the world falls apart, know this: you're not broken, you're not missing something, you're carrying a kind of strength most people will never understand, and that's okay. Stay calm, stay strong, you're doing better than you think.